Hi, my name is Dr. Priyank Sharma. I am the founder of Veda, which is my longevity practice. In this video, I just want to give you a quick overview of what our different programs look like and just give you a little bit of background on myself. So I was trained at the University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, and up at University Hospitals in Cleveland. And my journey to longevity started with my mother. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer completely out of the blue and did everything that we could, changed up her lifestyle. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. And her stage 4 end stage breast cancer was something that was missed by the system. So when this happened, I just completely flipped my life. I was on a lucrative career path to become a dermatologist and tried to figure out what went wrong, what were the issues with the system that led this happen, and the conventional knowledge that led her to get cancer in the first place. And it became my mission to spread longevity worldwide. And you may or may not have heard of the term longevity. It's been in the social spheres for the last couple of years, but it's not about doing all these biohacking things. It's not about spending a ton of money on expensive diagnostics. It is a new mindset in healthcare, true preventive care that is reactive rather than the current system that waits until you're sick to do anything about it. And my mission, our mission at Vita Veda is to bring the highest quality, proactive, preventive care to the world. And I believe, I'm confident that this is going to be the dominant paradigm in healthcare because it simply makes a lot more sense and it's what people want. People want to be healthy. So I've spent the last few years painstakingly developing a system to manage the complexity in healthcare. Our bodies are really, really complicated and it's not easy. And part of the reason that the current healthcare system, in fact, the main reason the current healthcare system doesn't actually help us stay healthy is because it wasn't designed for that and it's really hard. So you're taking a huge train that's been going in one direction really hard for a long time and trying to shift it to another. Very difficult to do. That's why it hasn't happened, but I'm confident it will. And this is our mission to get there. What we really care about here, all I care about is results, that you stay healthier for longer so that your health supports your long-term dreams. So what's really different here about longevity, just so you understand, is that we use all of our tools at our disposal to help lower your risk and help you get to your long-term goals, staying healthier for longer. I don't care if it's Eastern medicine or Western science-backed medicine. The only goal is to reduce risk. Okay, it's proactive. We check things before you have symptoms, before the disease develops. We try to find the earliest signs of it and then intervene. That's what makes it preventive. We don't wait until there's a disease process that becomes really difficult to reverse. And then from a quality standpoint, we keep up with the latest science and apply it to our patients. You may not know this, but it's very common that in primary care or general practice, it takes 10 years to have insights that specialists already know about flow to that primary care setting. That's way too long. That's one of this, actually, it's the exact issue that happened with my mother. So how are we able to do this? It's because we spend a ton of time with each patient. There's no magic bullet. Our patient panels are orders of magnitude smaller than what you'll see out there in the traditional system. So really, I believe longevity is for everybody, but right now in its current iteration is for anybody who doesn't want to leave their health to chance and to the traditional system, which was not designed for keeping you healthy. So now I'd like to talk to you about the different programs that we have here at Vita Veda. First, I'm just going to talk it over with you, and then I'm going to show you something that we put together for our patients, or prospective patients. So the first program that we have is called the core program, and this is the 80-20 of longevity. It's really focused on chronic disease prevention and specifically those diseases that are likely to cause you to not reach your long-term goals, to cause you death or disability. So this is cancer, cardiovascular disease, dementia, diabetes. And this program is really for people who just want to get started. They're pretty busy, and their main goal is to avoid a smoking gun. You don't want to get blindsided. The next program we have is the comprehensive program. This is the 90-10 of longevity. It adds in a primary care component. You have migraines, you have toenail fungus. We start managing that kind of stuff too. Those are not things that are likely to prevent you from getting to your long-term health goals, but they are annoying and they need to be dealt with. The comprehensive program also adds in a physical health component and a mental health component. We're looking at strength, aerobic, stress, Also adds in more sophisticated healthcare tracking. And it's really for those people who are ready to roll up their sleeves and start changing their habits. Finally, we have the complete program. This is the 100-0 of longevity. Now we're doing more frequent blood work. We're gathering more robust data. This is your biohacker type. We're doing more experimental diagnostics like microbiome, oral microbiome, GI microbiome testing. And we're looking at experimental medications like stem cells and peptides. This is probably what you've seen out there discussed on social media about longevity, but really it's for the people who are trying to go all the way to the extreme. And there's a place for everybody in all of these. Finally, I have something that I call the high resolution review. These are for people who don't necessarily want an ongoing relationship, but they just want a snapshot and some expert guidance as to what to do. There are a lot of services out there where you can get a bunch of blood work, but you may not get the context and understanding of how those results really should apply to you and what you should do differently. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you what the different programs look like as I had mentioned. So as I mentioned here, the complete program, the 100-0 of longevity, the comprehensive program. This is the 90-10 of longevity if you're looking to optimize your health. And the core program where your main motivation is to ensure nothing major is missed. And finally, the high resolution review. I find analogies helpful. Let me just give you one here. Think of life as walking on a tightrope. You don't really have a choice, but we got to walk across it like you're in the circus, right? The goal of the core program is to provide you a safety net so that if you fall, we catch you. The goal of the comprehensive program is to make it so you've got great balance, you're very unlikely to fall. The goal of the complete program is to make it so that you could do backflips on that tightrope, no problem. That's the way I want you to think about it. Okay. Now, there are some things just philosophically that we will do for every single patient in every one of the programs. And here's a comparison. Everything we do is science-backed. We address the root cause of issues. We personalize the program to you. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because a lot of longevity services don't do that. Okay. Our programs are all 1 year long. This is through trial and error. I try to do it faster. It just doesn't work. It takes time to get the data we need and time to make the changes we need to in order for you to get results. Okay. All of the major risk factors are assessed with every single one of these longevity programs, right? And if you look here, in our core program, we include a lot of different biomarkers across these key longevity areas: cardiovascular, dementia, cancer, metabolic, sleep, nutrition, general health. We are checking almost everything that is likely to cause you long-term issues. But of course, if you want to take it to the next level, we do additional tests in the comprehensive and in the complete. By the way, I have all of these available to you. If you just send us an email, I'll tell you more about that right towards the end. Okay. We keep a full medical record so that we don't miss anything. This is painstaking, but I think it's really important that we have all the information about your past and we continue to gather it, even if it's coming from other doctors or other specialists. Me and my team, we put that together. Okay. And we write prescriptions. We send referrals to specialists. We make sure to send orders for diagnostics. It's really a full concierge medicine-like experience, the way that medicine should be. One of the things that always annoyed me about medicine, both as a patient and as a provider, was it just wasn't convenient. So we do everything through telemedicine. We have hour-long visits. You can email us anytime. We work around your schedule, etc. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about what's unique about Vita. One, unlike other programs, we're not putting you through a cookie cutter program just so that we can actually scale it faster or more efficiently. So we'll bill your insurance whenever it's possible. We'll work around your schedule. I do early morning visits. I do night visits. And I completely personalize this program to meet you where you are. If you're not ready to stop eating dinner, no problem. If you're not ready for medications and you want to really work on your lifestyle habits first, great. Conversely, if you're way too busy to work on lifestyle and you just want to lower your risk with meds, that's fine too. You hate continuous glucose monitors, I'm not going to push it on you. And finally, I spend a lot of time doing advanced behavioral change techniques. I promise you, within a month, you'll start feeling better because we dig into some of the root causes of things that might be leading you to not have good energy, not get enough sleep. Longevity is not just about living longer. In fact, it's really about feeling better and living better. And that actually is, as the science proves out, the way to live longer. And another thing that all of our patients get that's unique about Vita Veda programs are this longevity dashboard. So the way that longevity works is we start with your goals. It's all about what you want out of your life. What decade do you want to live into? Your 80s, your 90s, your hundreds, maybe beyond that. And what do you want to be able to do in that decade? And what are those diseases that you really want to make sure you don't get? And then we work backwards from that to where you are now and figure out, okay, are you on course for that? And if not, how do we course correct? So everybody gets this longevity dashboard. This is a sample one for the comprehensive program. But we look at these, I create these key focus areas, which are what are the top three things that we need to focus on right now in order to get you to your goals. And I update this for every visit, right? Because you're not going to change 15 things at once, nor do you need to. This is a long-term approach that we're taking. We can reduce your risk 20, 30% and compound that over years and decades. That's going to add up. That's going to be the difference between you really getting to what you dreamed of and perhaps not. Okay, we have a detailed roadmap so you can have visibility as to what's going to be happening. And here's our scorecard that I put together for everybody. My goal is that across whatever dimensions we're covering, we look at all the key evaluations and we get to 80% on target, meaning 80% of the biomarkers that are in each of these areas are on target, and then we maintain that year after year. I have a detail section here so you can just see exactly the different things that we're looking at. Some of these are blood tests, some of them are just me asking you questions, some of them are devices, etc. Some of them are optional, as you can see here as well. And then we keep track of your accomplishments because I want you to see how far you're going, right? I'm just your guide. You are in the driver's seat. You are the one making this happen. But my job is to take all of that complexity that is in health of the body and distill it down for you and make sure that you can drive to a better health, better outcome, and reach those goals. So if you're interested, you'd like to hop on a call, discuss what your goals are, take a look in the description of this video. There's a link to set up a free consultation. I can talk you through, just understand what your goals are and see what might be the best fit for you, whether it's the comprehensive program, core program, our complete program, or just that snapshot, or nothing right now. I'm happy to talk to you and help you with your longevity. Like I said, this is my mission to make this happen. And if you want to take a look at some of these materials, shoot an email to cwalsh@vitaveda.health. That'll also be in the description. And then you can take a look at these materials. Either way, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you reach out. Be a pleasure to help you however I can.